A whip of wind howled through the cottonwoods, rattling the window panes like brittle teeth. Inside the ranch house, the air stood near silent, but for the low creak of an old chair and the scrape of a spoon against a chipped tin bowl. Ethan sat at the table alone, hunched over stew gone lukewarm. The fire had dimmed, shadows stretching across the floor, reaching for his boots like old ghosts come calling. He didn't flinch when the knock came. Soft, too soft for ill intent, too steady for a lost soul. He waited, spoon poised, listening. Another knock, then silence. He rose, tall and weathered, mid-30s, hands rough from rope and past fights. The rifle rested by the door, but he didn't touch it. Not yet. Outside, the wind swirled dust and ice. The porch lantern swayed, casting a faint glow over the steps. There, framed by dusk and uncertainty, stood a woman with fierce eyes in a worn dress. Two children clung to her skirt. A boy, about 6, gripping a tattered sack, and a girl, younger, in oversized boots, cheeks hollow from cold. The woman blinked once, then said, "They ain't yours, but they need you." Ethan stared. Words weren't his strength, especially not today. His mouth moved before his thoughts. "You're at the wrong place." "No," she said. "I'm not." The boy's lip trembled, but he didn't cry. The girl pressed into her mother, practiced in the motion. In the dim light, Ethan saw only desperation and stubborn resolve. He stepped closer, catching her scent: mud, horse, and faint soap. She wasn't a drifter. Her boots were mended, her dress once vibrant green. "Who sent you?" he asked. "No one," she replied. "Not anymore." He let the silence grow until the cold bit deeper, then shut the door. The bolt clicked shut. He stood, heart pounding like in his younger, fiercer days when his name carried weight. He hated how his hand lingered on the knob, hated more how her voice echoed, low, certain, raw. He didn't sleep. Morning found them still on the porch, huddled under her shawl like stubborn spirits. Ethan cursed softly and opened the door. "You'll eat in the barn," he said. She nodded, offering no thanks, and he respected that. They moved slowly, stiff with cold. The boy glanced back, clutching a worn toy soldier, as if the house might vanish. In the barn, the woman waited until the children sat on a hay bale before joining them. Ethan handed her bread, jerky, and sour apples, then turned to leave. "Why me?" he asked at the door. "Out of all the doors." She broke bread for her daughter. "Yours was the only name I knew." He didn't press. That afternoon, the boy trailed him to the fence line, uninvited. Spring mud clung to his boots, but he didn't complain, watching Ethan hammer a loose rail. "You know work?" Ethan asked, voice dry. The boy nodded. "Hold the nail bucket. Don't wander." The boy dropped it once when a rabbit darted by, flushing red. Ethan just grunted. When done, he gave the boy jerky. "Not near the horses, they'll sniff it out." The boy grinned, ran to the barn, and waved halfway. Ethan watched him go. By dusk, a drawing was pinned to the barn door. Crayon on a torn pamphlet, 3 stick figures holding hands, 2 small, 1 tall. Ethan stared long. That night, the children slept in the barn. The woman stood by the lantern, sharpening a knife with care. "If you're planning to rob me," Ethan said, "I'm a poor mark." She smirked. "If I wanted you gone, you'd be gone. This is for a rabbit." He didn't ask where she got it, just leaned against a post, arms crossed. "Your name?" She set the knife down. "Does it matter? Helps me know if I can trust you." Her eyes met his, showing fear and thick grief. "I was married once," she said, "to a man who drank and gambled more than coin. He tried to trade the boy for debts. I said no." He raised his hand. The barn stilled. "I took them and ran until the horse collapsed. Found this town on a whisper." Ethan felt the air shift, thinking of his brother's grave, marked by a stone and a vow to shelter the suffering. "You knew my name. Your brother brought supplies to my town. Gave me a hat when winter hit early. Said his brother never learned to wear one right." The memory hung heavy. Ethan stepped back. "Your children his?" "No," she said softly. "But they need someone who knows kindness." He left without a word. For 4 days, they shared the land, but not the quiet. The boy followed, asking about cattle and snakes. The girl stayed near her mother, but once fed a pair to Ethan's old hound, wary since the war. At night, her low, mournful hum wasn't a song, but a memory. Ethan nearly asked, "Why'd you come?" but feared her answer's weight. On the fourth night, carving wood on the porch, he saw dust rise across the ridge. One rider, moving with purpose. He whistled. The woman stepped out, eyes sharp, kids behind her. "Barn," he said. She herded them inside, knife steady. The rider reached the fence, a tall man in a dark coat, eyes shadowed, horse worn. "You hiding a woman, 2 kids, and a stolen name?" he called. Ethan stepped forward, rifle low but ready. "Who's asking?" "No one you want to meet twice." "What's your business?" "She's got something that ain't hers." "She belongs to no one," Ethan said. "Right on." The man's eyes glinted. "Didn't expect a hero out here." "I ain't one." "No, you're a fool." He rode off slowly, a threat in his posture. Ethan stood until the dust settled, then bolted the door. The children were quiet, the girl holding the boy. The woman waited. "Pack light," Ethan said. "We may not stay." She exhaled. "You believe me now?" He didn't answer, but brought a blanket to the barn. The wind carried no knock, only a colder threat. Morning came with fog, a chill in the bones. Cattle moved slowly, steam rising like fading fires. Ethan watched from the porch, cup in hand. The woman emerged, wearing his old coat, sleeves rolled. She moved cautiously, like testing ground after a storm. He nodded to the pump. She filled a pail and returned inside. 5 days in, their silence was an understanding. They avoided her past or the rider's return, moving like shadows pretending to live. That evening, the boy followed to the eastern fence, carrying nails unasked. At a broken rail, Ethan handed him a hammer. "Can you do it?" The boy nodded, hands shaky. His first swing missed, hitting the post. He winced. "Again," Ethan said. The next swing landed, uneven but firm. The boy stood taller, smiling. Ethan gave him jerky. "Western line tomorrow. Better boots." The boy ran, laughter like birdsong. The girl waited on the steps with a stone, solemn. "It's got a hole, like the moon." Ethan looked, it did. "Thank you." She skipped inside. The woman swept with a found broom, hearth crackling, beans scenting the air. "You cook?" Ethan asked. "Since I was a girl." "You clean too?" "If it's a problem, I'll stop." He shook his head. "I'm not used to folks doing things without expecting payment." She looked at him, steady. "I don't owe you, but I won't be a burden." The children ate quietly, eyes wary. When the food lasted, the girl whispered, "Thank you." And the boy wiped his mouth with his sleeve. Ethan gave them the guest room, unused for years, smelling of dust. He sat by the fire, hearing her footsteps overhead, a soft hum, then silence. Next day, he caught her scrubbing laundry at the creek, hands red. "You'll freeze," he said. "I've done worse." "Where'd you learn to fight?" "I didn't say I could. That knife says otherwise." She stood. "A man taught me, not my husband. Someone kinder. Ain't many of those." "No," she said. He handed her soap, faintly floral. She took it without asking. That evening, she joined him on the porch, watching the sun sink, sky blazing red. The girl curled by the hound, the boy tied knots. "He looks up to you," she said. "He shouldn't." "Why?" "I've done things I ain't proud of." "So has every man alive." Silence settled, soft. "They ask about you," she said. "I told them you keep the fire going, even when it's low." He laughed rough. "That ain't true." "It could be." He looked to the hills. "They your blood?" "No." "Why keep them?" "Their mother died birthing the girl. I was her sister. Their father passed later. No one else would." "Why tell me now?" "You asked." The boy left a carved wooden bird, uneven but earnest. Ethan kept it. 2 days passed, no rider, no knock. Peace was fragile. He walked softer, ate slower, watching her move, graceful, weary. He forgot she wasn't staying. On the 7th day, chopping wood, he saw movement on the hill. He grabbed his rifle, scanned the ridge. A figure rode, watching, then vanished. That evening, he checked locks, loaded rounds, sat by the fire. She watched. "You saw something." "I did." "He's coming." "I know he is." "We can leave." "You can't." "I won't." "Why?" "Running never worked for me, or them." She nodded. The boy brought a splintered board, carved with initials, from the smokehouse. Ethan checked the dirt, fresh tracks, circling the barn. Inside, the fire dimmed. "You're not saying something," he said. Her face paled. "He's after the boy." "Why?" the boy asked. "Your father was an informant, not a traitor. Worked with lawmen. You were born while he was undercover with thieves." They think you know their secrets. Do I? No, she said. Ethan burned the board. That name killed my brother. I didn't know. I believe you. The boy's voice shook. Are we in trouble? Trouble's got rules here, and I know them. The hound growled. A whistle, 3 notes, cut the night. Ethan stepped out, rifle raised. Stars blinked. A footstep sounded behind the barn, then another whistle. The girl cried out, sharp. Ethan moved toward the shadow. He glided silently, rifle ready, under a low moon. A figure crouched by the barn window, working wire. Ethan aimed. You lost. The man rose, hands up, scrawny, one eye clouded, reeking of sweat. Don't shoot. I ain't here to kill. Then why my window? He sent me. Wants the boy. Won't burn nothing if you hand him over. Ethan stepped closer. I ain't handing over nothing. He'll come anyway. The rifle but struck the man's stomach. He dropped, gasping. Ethan chained him in the smokehouse. Don't shout, or I forget you're breathing. Inside, the girl had stopped crying. The boy held her hand under the table. The woman paced, knife ready, pale but steady. What happened? Scout. Tonight. No. They want fear to show. She leaned against the wall, trembling slightly. Rest, Ethan said. When this ends. Next day, dust hung thick, cattle pacing like drums. Ethan questioned the chained man. He's got 2 more crack shots. They'll wait. Maybe burn the barn, start with the dog. Ethan gripped the rifle. You afraid? No. I'm remembering. He taught the boy to shoot. The rifle was heavy, but the boy's hands were steady. You ever kill a man? The boy asked. Ethan nodded. Why? He needed it. In the kitchen, the woman boiled herbs for a poultice. Ethan watched. You knew him. She stirred slower. Not by name, but by deeds. He ran with my husband, laughed when the whip fell. You stayed long. Too long. Not by choice. That night, the chained man tried to escape, leaving blood on the smokehouse wall. Ethan stood over him, shotgun ready. Try again, and the hogs get you. The man grinned, bloody. He'll make you beg. Maybe. I'm hard to kill. Ethan doubled the locks. 2 days later, smoke rose. Not fire, gunpowder. They're here, she said. Ethan dug foxholes by the shed. Cellar with the kids. You can't do this alone. You're here. She touched his arm, firm. At noon, 3 riders came. Their leader, tall, bearded, led with malice. Ethan stepped out. This ends now. Your brother squealed at Bitter Creek, the leader said. Give us the boy, or we burn this place. He's not yours. Or yours. He is now. Ethan fired, dropping a rider. Bullets tore the porch. He dove behind a barrel, firing back. The hound yelped, grazed. The woman shot a rider circling the barn, hitting his shoulder. Her hands shook after. The leader charged. Ethan stepped out, bloodied, facing him. You don't know the boy's worth. I don't care. You die for a stranger. He ain't one. The leader fired, missing. Ethan's shot didn't. The leader fell, silent. She stepped out. You're hurt. I've been worse. She bound his wounds. The boy peeked. Safe. Ethan nodded. They buried the bodies. The chained man limped away after begging. Next morning, the woman found Ethan sharpening his knife. Why stand for us? I know what it's like to be unwanted. Still, not today. Rest. He handed her the knife. I trust you. The boy chased the hound. The girl wove flowers into the fence. Peace settled. They'll ask about you, Ethan said. I came for kindness and found it behind a door I didn't expect to open. I'm glad you knocked. The fire was out, warmth lingering. Ethan sat, shirt off, gash stitched. The boy helped. The girl fetched water. The woman boiled herbs, her touch gentle. You should have let me bleed, he said. You didn't give me a choice. You could have left. They wouldn't leave you. She sat across, firelight on her face. I knew your brother. He waited. I was at Bitter Creek when he died. My husband brought me. I didn't know his plan until the shooting. I tried to save a boy under a table. A beam fell. My nephew. I pulled him out, but he was gone. You never said. It wouldn't change it. It matters. He wore a red scarf. I tied it. I kept it. Pain rose. He'd missed that day drunk. How old were you? 18. You stayed with him? No choice. I wanted to die, she said. But your brother's face made me carry the memory. You did. I tried. You brought his killer here. I didn't know. You knew his kind. She nodded. He looked to the rust-colored hills. He died screaming. I know. Why here? to see if your brother had a brother worth saving. That night, they shared whiskey on the porch, stars bright, coyotes singing. "I don't forgive easy," Ethan said. "I don't ask for it." "Then what?" "A place to stop running. You're not that girl from Bitter Creek. You're not the man who didn't show." "You were drunk?" she asked. "Tried to fight a preacher. Did you win?" "No." He hit hard. She laughed softly. "The girl thinks you're stone. The boy thinks you won't break. I ain't for kids. No one is until they are. What do you see in me? A man who faces fire." He stood. "Sleep. Fencing tomorrow." She nodded. The children slept by the hound, the boy with his soldier, the girl with a carved post. "Thank you," she whispered. "For what?" Opening the door. He didn't dream of Bitter Creek. Dawn brought restless wind. Ethan sat with his rifle, thoughts heavy. The woman stood, shotgun ready. They dug trenches by the barn. The whistle came, 3 notes. 3 riders broke from the trees. Ethan fired, dropping one. Bullets splintered the porch. He dove, firing back. The woman shot a rider, her hand steady until after. The leader charged. Ethan faced him, bloodied. "You don't know the boy's worth." "I don't care. You die for a stranger. He ain't one." Ethan's shot ended it. She bound his wounds. The boy asked, "Safe?" "Yes." They buried the bodies. The chained man left. Morning found Ethan sharpening his knife. "Why stand for us? I know what it's like to be unwanted." "Still, not today." She took the knife. "I trust you too." The boy chased the hound. The girl wove flowers. "They'll ask about you," Ethan said. "I found kindness behind a door I didn't expect. I'm glad you knocked." They ate together. The food simple. The girl saying grace, the boy passing cups. On the porch, Ethan said, "You could leave. Do you want me to?" "No." "Then I won't. I see someone who walked through fire and didn't turn to ash." She smiled, eyes shining. "I'm not afraid with you near." The children slept on the porch swing. Ethan carried the boy, she the girl, to the guest room. "Take the bedroom," he said. "There's room for both." Sleep came soft, their hands meeting in the dark.